Hello friends, welcome to lecture number 8 in Selenium Webdriver. In this lecture you will learn how to write the advanced Xpath and CSS expressions to identify the elements in Selenium Webdriver in Java. So I am going to this website newtools.demoaut.com/index.php. This is the test website by HP, and in here I'm going to explain you how you can identify the elements using Xpath or the CSS. So the best way or the simplest way to do is just right click on the inspect and then right click on that element and then copy XPath or copy selector to copy the CSS selector. So if I copy that, so this is how that particular copied XPath looks like. So this is pretty fake and I will not recommend this method. This is the shortcut method to create the XPath, but do not use this method. I'm going to explain you a simple and robust method to write the XPath expressions as well as CSS expressions. So I want to identify this element, and since it has got name, I can use the by.name, that particular syntax to identify the element. But let us see how you can use the XPath to identify this element. Now for that, what you have to do is open the console. That console, when you right click and inspect, these elements are displayed, and to view the console you have to click on this and then click on show console raw. Since it is already shown, it is saying hide console raw, which I'm not gonna do. So in the console you can use these JavaScript commands like this, and over there what you can do is you can use $x and then followed by double slashes. This is required for the writing XPath expressions, and our XPath expression starts with those double slashes. Then we want to find this input element, so I have put the input tag over there. Then if I hit enter over there, it is giving me 4 input tags because it is finding the 4 input tags over there in that web page. But I am interested in the username only. For that, I'm gonna take help of this attribute, name attribute, and for that, what you can do is you can use these square brackets, and in there the attribute is name, so that's why I have used this at symbol. Then is equal to username. So what it means is that find the element whose tag is input and whose attribute is name and its value is username. So just press enter, and it is saying that the string is not a valid XPath expression, so we have done some mistake over there. We have missed one quote, single quote over there, and you can notice that it is this time around found just single input element, and as you can see we have found our desired input box. So what I'm gonna do is just dock this window to the right side so that it will be very easy to understand or write the XPath expressions. I'm just gonna clear this one. Now, okay, so to find all the input elements, we use this syntax. Then to find the input element whose name attribute is equal to username, we use this syntax. Now, sometimes what we need to do is we need to find the elements whose attribute value starts with or contains specific word. Let us say you want to find the input element whose name attribute starts with user. Then for that, you can use this particular function starts with, this is the XPath function whose name attribute starts with username. So just put comma over there, single quote, and then close brackets. And as you can see, it has found one element. Or you can also use this one, and it has found that function and is found this particular element. So it will find all the elements whose name attribute contains this value. Name attribute's value contains user, and you can also identify the elements relatively, like say if you inspect this element, let us say you want to find out the label for that input element, that is username colon. So to find that, what you can do is you can use this particular syntax, the parent td. So remember that you need to use this double colons, that is the syntax to find the parent element. Now what we have done is we have found the this input box, this parent, this is parent is the td. So td is found. Now what I have to do is I have to find the preceding sibling of this td, because the text consistent is contained in this td. So to find the preceding sibling, what you have to do is use the syntax preceding sibling colon td, and you can notice that its value contains username, and you can use the Selenium's get text method to get that value. So remember that I have used parent colon colon td to find the parent of this input box. So this is the td we have found, and then to find the preceding sibling of that, we have used this preceding sibling syntax colon colon td. And similarly, if there was another td over there just after this td, we can use following sibling instead of preceding sibling. We will use following sibling, but since there is no following sibling over there, it will return empty set like this. Since we have used this ing two times, as you can see, it is returning the empty set. And that is how you can use the preceding siblings or the previous sibling to find the adjacent elements in the Selenium. And also you can use this parent to find the parent of the element. Now next thing that I'm going to show you is how to find the elements using the like logical operations. For example, if you want to find out the element whose name attribute is username and whose type attribute is text, for that what you have to do is you have to, let me delete this first of all. So to give the AND condition, you have to use this syntax, and whose type attribute is equal to text. So you can notice that this is found in that input element. So similarly, you can use multiple attributes to find the element using this AND syntax, and you can also use the OR to find the elements as well. So it will identify all the elements which either contains this name contains user, or whose attribute type contains text. Now you can also use the negation as well, and not whose type attribute is not equal to this one. Oh, sorry, instead of it here, you have to put it here, and it has found multiple elements because it is trying to find the elements which doesn't whose type attribute is not equal to text, and that's why it has found those many elements. So that is how you can use and or nor operators. And another thing is that I want to explain you is that CSS selectors. Now Xpath expressions are pretty handy, and they can be used to identify any element. So if you are happy with Xpath expressions, stick to that Xpath expressions. Don't go ahead and learn CSS expressions, but because if you are happy with the Xpath, they will be, they will be able to help you with the identifying any elements. You will not need the use of this CSS selectors. But if you are just trying to learn it, or you want to learn the CSS, you can go ahead and watch this particular part of this video. So instead of XPath, we can also use CSS, and the syntax for this is that you don't need to give that X, you need to give dollar dollar, and then that double slash is also not required. Then hit enter, and then it will find all the input elements. So this is CSS selector, very simple. Now to find the element whose attribute is got some value, you can use this particular syntax. Instead of $x, I'm gonna put double dollar, then this slash is not required, and you don't need the at symbol as well in the CSS. Rest of this thing remains same. So what it will do is it will find the input element whose name attribute is equal to username. Similarly, if you want to find the input element whose name attribute contains specific word or the text, you can use this syntax. And if you want to find the elements whose name attribute starts with something, you can use this caret symbol. So this is found the element whose name attribute starts with user. Similarly, if you want to find the element which attribute ends with something, you can use dollar. Since there is no input element whose name attribute ends with user, it is written empty. But if you use name or me, it will find one element like that. So that is how you can use this Xpath and CSS expressions. Once you find the Xpath and CSS expression, just copy that expression in the double quotes over there. Go to your IntelliJ and then use this by.xpath or by.css selector, and then copy and paste it over there, that Xpath expression that you have found. And after that, you can use this any methods on that particular element. I hope you enjoyed this lecture on the advanced Xpath and CSS expressions in Selenium. It is very important lecture, and most of the automation engineers use these Xpath expressions or CSS expressions extensively. So better you get grips on your writing Xpath expressions. Make use of this Google Chrome. Do not use that a shortcut way to copy the XPath or the CSS selector from here, because that will not be stable. So if you want to write this stable script, you will have to adopt this strategy, like write your own XPath expressions using minimal elements, and your tests will become very robust. I hope you liked this lecture. Just to rewind, we have seen advanced XPath and CSS expressions in this lecture in Selenium, Webdriver, in Java, and more is coming in future lectures. So stay tuned to this channel, and thanks for watching this video.